Hello, YouTube. How y'all doing today? This is Life Under Trump, part 128. Yes, Life Under Trump, part 128. It's a lot going on. JD Vance, he went to visit the Pope, and what the next day the Pope was sleep, lifetime sleep with Jesus Christ. So we got a lot to cover. Elon Musk. He's been sued for the mileage being forward, so the warranties run out quicker on his Teslas. He's been sued. Trump is filming after Elon Musk mess, which I'm going to show you something about that because right now, him and Elon Musk, they having a beef, but they trying to keep it hidden. But it's not going to work because the American people, we see what's going on. Hold on, y'all. We see what is going on, and it's not going to be something they're going to be able to stop, because Tesla, Elon Musk, his Teslas speed up odometers to avoid warranty repairs. U.S. lawsuit. Yes, there's a lawsuit against who? Elon Musk rap. Hello, King Allen. Hello, King LaSwan. How y'all doing? Thank you. I decided not to straighten my hair, so I'm going to just wear it curly for a little while to keep the heat off my hair because I'm a black woman. So, the heat is not good for our hair. And then I'm going to dinner when I get off from here. So, and I want to be cute. I'm going to show y'all my little outfit. I don't know if y'all can see it. Let me see. I'm going to stand up so y'all can see what I have on. My little outfit. I don't know if y'all can really see it, but it's a short, little cute outfit, skirt outfit. So that's what I's wearing today, trying to be fashionably lit here in Atlanta, Georgia. I got a date tonight, so I want to look good. I don't want to look 51. I'm 51, but I don't want to look it. And I don't believe in Botox and fillers, so I work my craft as best as I can. I'm silly, y'all. Look over me. Pray for me. Girlfriend is silly. I'm getting a little hot, y'all. Know I'm 51 years old, so mama get a little hot. Let me cool off a little bit. I don't want to turn the air on because my allergies been acting up. And I went to sleep with my hair wet. I had took a nap with my hair wet with the air on earlier. You know how that mess with your sinuses. But anyway, we're going to get on back to this about Donald Trump. Hit that like button as y'all coming in. And if you want to donate to my channel, you can send me super chats. Or you can hit me up with my Venmo that's in my description or my PayPal link. Either one is fine with me. My PayPal link or my Venmo in the description. Super chats are welcome. And if you want me to read your comments, send me a super chat. So we're going to be getting started in just a moment. It's so much going on. Every day is something new. China is not backing down. Donald Trump went around lying that China gave him a call. They did not. They did not. It's a lie. And all the MAGA people run around telling that same lie that China was begging Donald Trump. That never happened. It would never happen because that's not part of China's character to bow down and kiss the ring of a clear man. It won't happen. And the Pope Francis, it's rather frightening that he had actually passed away the day after meeting JD Fancy Pants. So we're going to start with JD Vance first, y'all, okay?
Been feeling great, but it's good to see you in
And what happened the next day? Our Pope was gone permanently. Was that a ritual? Because he pressured the Vatican to let him see the great Pope Francis. He did not want to meet with JD Fancy Pants. He did not. So I'm going to give y'all a little news on Instagram and WhatsApp. So I'm going to show you, then I'm going to read it to you. They've been trying to get rid of TikTok so long. So the grave you build for somebody, dig for somebody else, you better hope you're not digging your own grave. This is what's going on with Instagram, y'all. And bye-bye Instagram, maybe. Mark Zuckerberg may have to sell WhatsApp and Instagram if he loses federal trade commission case in the U.S. And he thought by giving Danny Boy all those millions of dollars as a donor to his campaign was going to save him. And Mark Zuckerberg thought that, because he got to sit at the inauguration in the seats of the special ones, that he would be just fine. And he wouldn't have to face the Federal Trade Commission. But wait a minute. Mark, you're not special. Nobody is special to Donald Trump. Not even his top, Elon Musk, is not special to him. Elon Musk right now is suffering. Anybody that have attached themselves to Donald Trump, they are suffering. Look at Elon Musk. All of his businesses are doing bad. X as well is doing bad. Mark Zuckerberg is about to lose Instagram and WhatsApp. That's what's about to happen right now. He donated all that money to old Donny boy, and yet and still, he's suffering. Nobody is safe doing business, being a donor to Donald Trump's campaign. Nobody is safe. Everybody that attached their train to his caboose are suffering. So it says Mark Zuckerberg may be forced to sell Instagram and WhatsApp if he loses the FTC battle in the U.S. What could this mean for the future of social media? Social media keep going. It's new social media all the time. We found out about Red Note. TikTok was a SHIT and still a SHIT. And that's why Twitter, I would say X, because the guy that originally on Twitter was a great guy. X and Instagram, WhatsApp, wanted to get rid of TikTok. And TikTok is standing on his last leg right now. But that same grade y'all dig for TikTok, who's suffering? Mark. You're going down in the DM, boo. So, they always calling people criminals. And this has to be with Garcia, that's in El Salvador. So Trump is a 34-count criminal, but listen to this.
Fact check this Republican dude on TV after he claimed that Trump actually took a win when he deported Kilmar Abrego Garcia illegally, and he said that Democrats are defending criminals. Watch what happens. Yeah, Malik said that this seems to be overall a win for Republicans. I completely disagree. The Trump admin is currently openly defying court orders after they admitted that they made an error with somebody's life. Now, what Van Hollen said there is super true, and I don't like this game that some Republicans are playing where they say, you Democrats love to defend criminals, you love to defend gang members. Never in my life would I do that. That is never my intention. We want to defend due process, and the Trump admin is playing this weird game of heads I win, tails you lose, where they deny the right to a habeas petition before somebody's deported, and then after somebody's deported, they say, we don't have the jurisdiction to bring you back, even though the Supreme Court said your rights don't just vanish at the border, especially when the United States is the one deporting you. So the Trump admin is defying court orders. The Trump admin made a massive error and admitted it, and this is going to overall weaken their ability to carry out this mass deportation they wanted to do. I had to fact check this Republican dude on TV after he clicked.
The man that's the biggest criminal in the United States is spending his time bashing people that are not criminals, trying to make them into criminals. That's the problem. That's the biggest problem right now here in America. How are you going to take people that are not criminals and try to make them into criminals? Because of that, Donald Trump, I'm going to read you your rights. I'm going to read you down to that piss it depends. So I'm going to show y'all something about the felony convictions. Who have felony conviction? Who are them that have? Hold on. Look at this. Look at this. Felony convictions. Garcia has 0. Al Capone had 3. Well, everybody remember Al Capone, don't you? Charles Manson, 7. John Gotti, 13. Jeffrey Dahmer, 15. And like I told you, Donald Trump is the biggest criminal of all. Donald Trump has 34 felonies. He's worse than Jeffrey Dahmer. Donald Trump, you are trash. Y'all, take the trash out now. Take him out. Get him out of that White House. Impeach Trump. Felony convictions? Garcia has none. Al Capone had 3. Charles Manson, 7. John Gotti, 13. Jeffrey Dahmer, 15. Donald Trump, 34 felonies. Clear people. Clear people. And that's who you look up to while we have the great Barack Obama to look up to. President Barack Obama. No felony charges. No criminal background, and this is clear, people got to look up to. The man with the most felonies ever. Show me a black man with 34 felonies. You can't show me any black men with 34 felonies. But y'all like to try to label us as the worst people. Show me a black man with 34 felonies. Feed my ears with it. You can't do it because it would never be. Never, ever, ever be. And y'all want to talk about black people. Stop fixing your D-suckers to talk about black people. Stop it. Arrest Donald Trump for contempt of the Supreme Court. He must be arrested. He has committed several crimes since he's been in the Oval Office. 34-count felony that continues to break the law while sitting in the Oval Office. One moment. Trump is fuming after Elon Musk bombshell. Let me show you this. One moment.
For the American people, as Elon Musk has been left panicking after he was exposed by a brutal bombshell. Yeah, we've been talking about how Elon Musk has really not been doing so well within the Trump administration. His relevance, his influence, it's constantly fading. And thanks to Donald Trump's policies, Elon's private companies are doing
fair use,
terribly.
educational
But it doesn't look
purposes,
like anything is letting
and
up
great for
the
research
billionaire.
purposes.
Because now Elon Musk has been left in a panic again. How's it going? My name is Hunter Avalone with Occupy Democrats. Welcome back to another video. Now, as I was saying, Elon Musk is kind of like the clown that just keeps giving gifts. Only each gift, it's just a more and more obnoxious
Hit the like button,
jack-in-the-box.
please.
Recently, it was revealed that Tesla's stock dove 6% ahead of a possible code red earning for Elon Musk's firm. Shares of Tesla fell 6% to $227, their lowest close since April 8th, just before Trump paused some tariffs to the stock market's delight. So far this week, we have seen some pretty significant drops with the S&P 500. However, Tesla was the most notable loser amid the early week losses, and it has frequently been among the worst performing stocks from tariff shocks, considering its reliance on a coherent global supply chain and on smooth Washington-Beijing relations due to its heavy revenue reliance on China. Well, it looks like the first buddy isn't doing so good. Ever since he became the first buddy, he's been nothing but the first loser. That's right. There have been a lot, so I don't mind refreshing your memory. Elon Musk has had scandal after scandal engulfing him since he's teamed up with Donald Trump. As now a whistleblower has even stepped forward and accused Elon Musk and Doge of accessing unauthorized data.
And I saw those same indicators at my agency and started raising the flag.
So in your complaint that you shared with Congress, you include this screenshot we're going to show. It shows a large spike in data leaving the National Labor Relations Board. You say that's extremely unusual because data almost never directly...
Russia got a hold to this data.
And it also appears that an older scandal is now coming back to haunt Elon Musk.
A decade-old scandal is back to haunt Elon Musk. As a former Tesla engineer is reviving her over a disturbing 2014 incident. Christina Ballon claims she was fired and her team threatened with deportation after warning Musk about a serious braking issue in the Model S. Despite Musk's earlier directive encouraging direct employee feedback, Ballon says she was forced to resign after Tesla lawyers allegedly used her team's pending green cards as leverage. Tesla later smeared her with embezzlement accusations, which she denies. Now, after winning a recent appeal, Ballon is pushing for a jury trial, reigniting scrutiny over Musk's long history of retaliatory firings and toxic workplace behavior.
Now all of this nonsense has culminated to the moment you've been waiting for, as Elon Musk has been left in a total panic as a new report just dropped a brutal bombshell. Take a look.
Elon Musk's political gamble is unraveling fast. According to a bombshell report from the Washington Post, Musk is now considering stepping down from his role in the Trump administration, citing what he calls a barrage of vicious and unethical attacks from the left. But critics say this isn't about unfair treatment, it's about fallout. Since aligning with Trump, Musk's influence in government has noticeably slipped. Cabinet members are reportedly fed up with his rogue cost-cutting orders, and Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent even ousted an IRS commissioner Musk had helped install. Meanwhile, analysts like Dan Ives warn that Tesla is in a code red crisis, urging Musk to abandon government entirely and return to the company full-time. The brand has become so politically radioactive, Ives says, that Tesla faces up to 20% permanent demand destruction, especially in global markets. Even Musk's exit excuse reeks of weakness. Instead of taking accountability for the backlash or acknowledging the chaos he's helped create, he's playing the victim, claiming he's just tired of being criticized. For someone who
Claim he's tired of being criticized and that the left is only out to hunt him and hurt him. Elon, you were out to hurt the American people, and we gave you what you gave us. You gave us your ASS to kiss, we gave you ours and our foot across your neck. That's what we have given you. And I'm going to show you this, then I'll read it to you, okay? This is JD Fancy Pants. What a week he's having. So JD Fancy Pants, he hosts his home state Buckeyes after they win the college football championship. And what happened? He broke their trophy. Yes, it broke. JD Vance broke the trophy. Okay, diplomatically pressures the Vatican into meeting with Pope Francis on Easter Sunday. That's JD Vance. And what happened to the great Pope? Well, the Pope Francis dies 12 hours later. JD Vance, you are a curse. And the curse will continue until you out of that White House. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Oh, yes, it will. Hold on.
You can't deny the fact that she changed her accent.
Talking about
every
Kamala.
fucking rally. You can't.
Why'd she correct
I have a
him?
question. Do you know what AAV is?
Who?
Who? Do you know what African American vernacular English is?
No.
Okay.
Of course,
AAV
MAGA doesn't.
is a dialect or vernacular of English, right? In which is very predominant amongst Black Americans, and the historicity relates to the transatlantic slave trade and the existence of Black individuals in America today, okay? And historically. Now, AAVE is very stigmatized by white Americans today and has been also historically stigmatized by white Americans, okay? Right? White Americans like to call AAVE, quote-unquote, ghetto. They like to call AAVE, quote-unquote, uneducated. They like to look...
And
at
VP
Black
Kamala Harris is
individuals
more
who speak in
educated than Donald
perfectly
Trump.
valid vernacular, just as valid as one in which I'm speaking in or you're speaking in, and they like to say that it's wrong, okay? So the way Black individuals that speak in AAVE have responded to this is to code switch. What does code switching mean? It means that they will speak in AAVE in front of people who they don't think will stigmatize them for it, but when they're in front of a predominantly white audience who they know will stigmatize them for it, they will not speak in AAVE. So when you're telling me that Kamala Harris has spoken in different accents at different rallies, well, in the rally in which I believe there's clips of her speaking in AAVE, she had a more predominantly Black audience who she knew would not stigmatize her for speaking in AAVE compared to the predominantly white America that would look at her speaking in AAVE and say that she's less educated, say that she's
In which
ghetto,
we know that's
say
a lie.
that she is dumb, all right? And it's actually funny because you are perpetuating other racist implications inside of the same circle right now. You're saying, oh, she spoke in AAVE, well, that means that she was a less qualified candidate. Oh, she code switched, well, that's something bad that she did, which is exactly why code switching exists in the first place.
And you can't deny the fact.
And I like what this young fella is saying, because what y'all like to do, clear people, MAGA, y'all like to pick and choose what you want to take from our culture. But then you have a problem when we want to code switch and you don't understand. It's something that makes you uncomfortable. It's not about us making you comfortable. We are not your therapist. If you want to feel comfortable, you get a therapist, okay? Black people are no longer taking care of you and your children.
And China will lose the US market, which, as I've said, is 15%.
We don't care.
We don't care. China has been here for 5,000 years. Most of the time, there was no United States, and we survived. And if the United States wants to bully China, we will deal with the situation without the United States. And we expect to survive for another 5,000 years. I don't like that shit for sure, bro.
China said, we don't care. And the vast majority of the Americans are down with China right now. We would never be on Donald Trump's side. We are on the American people's side, but we would never be on Donald Trump's side. We would never be on the oppressor's side. It would never happen. It would never be. It could never be me.
A class action lawsuit filed against Elon Musk's Tesla in California
You're done, Elon. You're done. Lay down like the good little pet you are. You're done. You attached yourself to the monster Donald Trump, and you killed your entire career. You killed every business that you own because you wanted to be a part of white power. And what happened? White supremacists, they have now chewed you up and spit you out, and the American people never liked you anyway.
Bukele has long said that anyone who goes to COD is never getting out, right? They're the terrorists, they're the worst of the worst. I mean, these individuals, they go there, they never leave that facility. Don't you think it's a bit peculiar that they released Kilmar Abrego Garcia if he claims to be this bad terrorist that he is?
He's not. He's not a criminal.
It's a very good point. And it underscores what the federal court judge in Maryland said about this case, Judge Zinnes, who said that the Trump administration had not presented any evidence linking Abrego Garcia to MS-13 or to any other, any terrorist organization. That's what the judge said, and that's why I've said,
hit the like button, please.
Stop putting this stuff out on social media. Put up or shut up in court. And when I met with the vice president of El Salvador, Aaron, I asked him specifically if he had any evidence that, Abrego Garcia had committed crimes. He said, no, we just take the word of the Trump administration. And by the way,
and that's the worst thing they have done. Took Trump's advice.
So it's clearly just, from their point of view, hey, we're paying them $15 million to participate in this conspiracy, and they ask no questions.
So Trump is paying the president over there $15 million.
But to your point, clearly El Salvador understands what the Trump administration, apparently is admitting indirectly in court that they have, he's not a terrorist.
Right. President Bukele has long said that anyone who goes to COD.
I didn't know that they were paying to have those people our people, American people, it don't matter, brothers and sisters, sent to El Salvador. That's more wasteful money. Elon, did you not find that as wasteful money? Doge. You are wasteful money as well. $8 million a day, Elon Muskrat. And these two buffoons.
Here to set the record straight himself, the current Secretary of State, Pete Hegseth, former host right here on Fox and Friends. Pete, hey, great Brian. To see you, Mr. Secretary. Great to see you. Here to set the record straight himself, the current Secretary of State, Pete Hegseth, former host right here on Fox and Friends. Pete, hey, great Brian. To see you, Mr. Secretary. Great to see you. Here to set the record straight himself, the former Secretary.
That's weird. I don't know why that's doing that. But anyway. It says that Fox host calls Pete Hegseth's former secretary. Oh, he did say that. Let's play it back.
The current Secretary of State.
He said, current. Listen.
Host right here on Fox and Friends. Pete, hey, great Brian. To see you, Mr. Secretary. Great to see you. Here to set the record straight himself, the current Secretary of State, Pete Hegseth.
He said former first, y'all, because y'all know it's being said that Trump has let Pete go. I can't wait till it is announced because I'm going to celebrate. One by one, the domino effect is happening. And I thank you, Jesus.
Stop saying they were deported. The people in El Salvador were not
kidnapped.
Deported
They're
because
kidnapped.
Deportation requires due process. They were captured against their will with no due process. You know what you call that? Kidnapping. And then they were taken again against their will with no due process to a foreign country.
ICE kidnapped them.
Human trafficking. And then they were put in
and Donald Trump is the
prison
leader.
with no way to get out. Do you know what you call it when you put people who aren't given due process and therefore haven't been proven to commit a crime in a prison with no way to get out? That's a concentration camp. Stop saying they were deported. The people in El Salvador.
It's the same way they did black slaves. It's the same way they did the Holocaust. But it's clear people that's always doing it. It's not Hispanic people. It's not black people doing it. It's always the white man. Your time is coming soon.
You're all blaming China, you're blaming us, but it's really your own fault, and America now needs a revolution.
They rob you blind, and you thank them for it. That's a tragedy. That's a scam. That's why I'm saying this right now. Americans, you don't need a tariff. You need a revolution. For decades, your government and oligarchs won't ship your job to China. Not for diplomacy, not for peace, but to exploit cheap laborers. And in the process, they hollowed out your middle class, crushed your working class, and told you to be proud while they sold your future for profit. And yes, China made money, but we used it to build roads, lift millions out of poverty, fund healthcare, raise living standard. We reinvested in our people. My family also benefited from it. What did your oligarchs do? They bought yachts, private jets, and mansions with golf course driveways. They manipulate the market, dodge tax, and pour billions into endless wars. And you get stagnant wages, crippling healthcare costs, cheap dopamine, debt, and flag wave poverty made in China while they pick your pocket. For 40 years, both China and the United States benefit from the trade, the manufacturing, but only one of us use that wealth to build. This isn't China's fault. This is yours. You let this happen. You let the oligarchs fit your lies while they made you fat, poor, and addicted. Now they blame China for mess they made. I don't think so. I don't think you need another tariff. You need to wake up. You need to take your country back. I think you need a revolution.
You guys are all blaming China. You're blaming us.
America, we need a resolution. Americans have been pimped by Donald Trump and his entire cabinet. We haven't gotten richer. Stop fooling yourself, America. You don't even go to the dentist. You walking around with a booty do. You got 5 stomachs and 4 backs. Do you not know what a booty do is? Of course, the white race wouldn't know. That's a vernacular that black people use. That's when your booty is flatter than your stomach. Your stomach is your booty, but it's just happened to be in the front.
Just got breaking news. Orange Orangutan administration has cracked. His team literally tried to beg China not to retaliate, and China freaking ghosted him. So here's what happened. CNN dropped a report saying someone from the Orange Orangutan administration reached out hours before China raised tariff on the U.S. goods to 125%. They told China, don't do it, just wait. And they even said President Xi should call the Orange directly. Like, think about that. The Orange Orangutan talks tough in public, but behind the scenes,
he's
they
a
were
wussy.
basically trying to de-escalate,
What about
to get
Dussy?
ahead of it. And China didn't even respond. This is exactly what I've been telling you guys. No calls, no warning, just drop the hammer. And of course, this morning, U.S. officials and all of us woke up to new tariffs. So yeah, Trump flipped.
I told you Trump lies to you, MAGA. You would not accept it. You're in a cult. I'm going to help you with that. You need Jesus really bad. Not Donald Trump, because he did not rise on Easter Sunday. I wish he would have just slept a long time and been blessed to never wake up. But warnings of a cult, I'm going to show you, and I will read it to you. Warning signs of a cult. The leader is always right. That's number one. Number two, criticism of the leader or questioning the leader is considered persecution. Number three, anything the leader does is justified, no matter how harmful it may be. Example, sending innocent people over to El Salvador. Okay, number four, the leader is the only source of the truth. Everybody else is lying. When we all know Donald Trump is a compulsive liar. Number five, followers must be blindly devoted to the leader and never question him. That is MAGA. Number six, the members won't recognize they belong to a cult. And who is the cult? The cult is MAGA. Warning signs, you're in a cult. I'm going to show you this, and then I will read it to you. Supporting Trump is no longer a political choice. It's a statement that you don't care about morality, legality, or the truth. Because you feel like as long as it's not affecting you, and it's just hurting black and brown people, it's okay. But what Donald Trump has done, he has treated you as a black person. But you're just not as beautiful and has melanin like me. I'm going to show you this, and I will read it to you. This is from ABC, fair use educational purposes. Senator Chris Van Hollen says, I've been fighting against MS-13 for probably longer than Donald Trump even heard about MS-13. And we know Donald Trump don't even know what MS-13 is. All he knows about is taking and thieving from people, taking from the American people and don't care about us. One moment. Hold on.
Irish people become white in America.
Go for it, John. When did the Irish become white? And how long have you been white?
As a recently visibly white guy, it's a complicated history. W.E.B. Du Bois made a famous statement about the condition of blacks in America in 1890, early 1920s, and indicated they were the poorest in all of America, except for the Irish immigrants, who were the poorest. And they were called Black Irish, and were despised by all the other immigrants who had already come in there, except the blacks at the time. And the Irish were able to scrape by on the generosity of the black people Once their economic condition surpassed that, they no longer use that phrase and became white.
There have been numerous instances of groups becoming white in the United States. The Italians, Jews,
Yep.
Eastern Europeans as well. But there's been a hard barrier for Black people, and this is what I think gets to anti-Blackness specifically.
Hit the like button,
as a barrier
please.
that people can't cross. Black people don't get to become white. No.
I love
In
being
the
black.
United States, but lots of other people will get to become white or white presenting, to use the old South African terminology, honorary white, even if you're not actually white, except for Black people.
I remember a debate between James Baldwin and William Buckley in London. Because Buckley's argument was, okay, you blacks, if you just do what other people have done, you will be thriving economically and politically speaking. And Baldwin says, okay, well, actually, that is possible if we manage to change the color of our skin. Because of the color of our skin, you don't let us vote.
We're not going to watch the whole video because it is rather long. But I get what they're saying because I'm going to give you an example. I was eating at this restaurant in East Atlanta. And this lady, I didn't know what she was. But I knew she wasn't white. So she told me she was Hispanic. But she said she considered herself white. Because it was around election time. I was helping with voting. And she was like, well, I was like, well, what do you put down that you are? She said, I put down that I'm white. I said, but it's obvious looking at you, you're not white. You're not much lighter than me. And your hair is about the texture of mine. And I'm a Black woman. But she was a Latina. But she says that she's white. Girl, if you do your DNA, you're going to have some African in you. I prefer my Blackness any day. Yes, we have to put African American, but I am a Black woman, 24/7. Don't mistake that. I love everything about being a Black woman. Don't subtract, add to it, baby. Don't add any nonsense, because I'm a melanated Black woman. Don't get it twisted or confused, no matter what you want to do. Uh-oh.
For a long time, but I'm gonna say something really strong. Hey, white Americans, I need you to come to the front. Y'all do know that your grandparents and them enslaved our grandparents and them. Yeah, no, not a question. Our people were not brought over here because we were trying to escape our country or
And that's the lies they're telling to our kids now in school.
our land, and we were brought over here across the Atlantic. Millions of us died on our way here. Yeah, y'all's ancestors enslaved our ancestors, built this country on the backs of our ancestors, and we're not going to let you rewrite the story to make yourself feel better.
And that's what white people are doing today.
You guys separated children from their family. You guys sold them like they were cattle. You guys raped our women, and you hung our men. Yep. All so that you guys be able to have this great America that you're trying to make great again. Now, meanwhile, we line dancing and we ain't tripping about what's going on with the clown in the office.
Hello, Queen
However,
Victorious
we're
one.
not going to let you guys retell this story as if y'all's ancestors were our friends. Not going to happen. We do not care how you try to throw the Bible at us talking about we need to forgive and forget. In the words of my Jewish community, never forget. And in the words of you white Americans about 9/11, never forget. And so therefore, us black folks, we
never
forget
forget.
either. Y'all did everything y'all could, even after we were free, to keep us bound, from redlining, to not giving us property, not letting us buy houses, to keeping us out of certain schools, not giving us the proper utensils, making sure you guys legalize certain stuff to accommodate whiteness, but then make certain things illegal so that it would criminalize us. Look, I know you guys don't want to hear about it, but guess what? We don't care. There would be no need for this post if the orange guy wasn't trying to rewrite history to make you guys feel better about being Caucasian. Now, what we're not going to do is you guys not going about to white guilt me. Not at all. So stay about them comments, too. It is not my fault that your great-great-great-great-grandfather enslaved my great-great-great-great-grandfather and great-great-great-great-grandmother. That's your problem, not mine. Just leave the history books alone, and we don't have to put y'all on Front Street about it. But what this generation not going to do is stay quiet about the blood that's on white folks in this country. All right? See y'all.
Another thing, y'all would flood out our towns. Black people was building things. We was having something for our people. And what did the white people do? You would flood out our towns. You would burn down our towns. Lake Lanier was a town of black people. Yes. Yes. You will burn our people and eat them. Use their skin to make leather sofas. Use our black people hair to stuff sofas. You did so much to us and you want us to bow down and shut up and accept the abuse that y'all still be putting upon us. You just sneak and try to do it with the unseen hands. But I see you. And what has happened under Donald Trump? He allowed you to come on out with your racism. You say it loud, you proud. Well, honey, I'm saying it loud, and I'm black and I'm proud. Catch that.
Francis shook J.D. Vance's hand and died a few hours later. I'm not saying there's a correlation. I'm just presenting it as fact. The Pope met with Vice President Vance on Easter
A ritual
Sunday
was
after
done.
that, and the meeting was described as short, awkward, and tense. Only hours later, Pope Francis had died. This makes one of his final acts as Pope meeting with a cruel and heartless man who made an entire political career out of demonizing migrants and immigrants. I'll give you 3 things about it. Thing number 1, Pope Francis made the care of migrants a focus of his papacy. From the very beginning, Pope Francis stood up for people on the margins. In 2013, in his first year as Pope, he visited the Italian island of Lampedusa, where he mourned the death of African migrants crossing the Mediterranean. He called the global indifference to their suffering a culture of comfort.
Hit the like button, please. Thank you.
Just last year, in 2024, he doubled down on that stance, calling the mistreatment of migrants a shipwreck of civilization. So when he looked J.D. Vance in the eye, he wasn't just shaking a hand. He was confronting a worldview that sees migrants not as humans, but of a problem that needs to be solved and removed. Thing number 2. Pope Francis was a vocal opponent of Trump and Vance's immigration policy. Let's not forget, back in 2016, Pope Francis said anyone who thinks only of building walls is not a Christian.
Amen.
That was a direct shot at Trump and this current administration's whole ideology. Vance built his whole career on being a Trump guy. He pushes for mass deportations and called immigration a war on American sovereignty. When he showed up at the Vatican, he wasn't visiting a friend. The Pope's decision to keep their meeting short and reroute Vance to a side gate wasn't just protocol, it was a statement. Thing number 3, Pope Francis leaves a legacy of caring for the most vulnerable. Whether it was washing the feet of prisoners, visiting refugee camps, or calling out the tyranny of unfettered capitalism, Pope Francis used his platform to center people most often pushed to the margins. He didn't always toe the Vatican line, but he was clear about his mission, a church of the poor and for the poor. This stood in stark contrast to people like Trump and Vance who cosplay Christian values. As always, if you like this kind of content, like, follow, and share, and go ahead and click the link in my bio and subscribe to my YouTube channel.
They are used for educational purposes and great for research purposes.
Lost Donald Trump video that has people talking.
Trump is nasty.
Trump and then wife Marla Maples appeared on the TV
He is an
show
awful father.
Lifestyles of the Rich and Famous back in 1994.
Listen what he says about his own daughter.
Asked about
Nasty.
their daughter Tiffany, who was then just a year old.
Now, Donald, what does Tiffany have of yours, and what does Tiffany have of Marla's?
Well, I think that she's got a lot of moral, and she's a really beautiful baby, and she's got Marla's legs. We don't know whether or not she's got this part yet, but time will tell.
Daily Show host Trevor Noah.
He's nasty. Who says it about their daughter?
I'm pretty sure nobody has seen this clip since it aired over 20 years ago.
And he was left speechless by what he heard.
We don't know whether or not she's got this part yet, but time will tell.
Trump is a disgusting man. He even said awful things about his daughter, Ivanka. I think that's her name. Whatever her name is. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The one that got the nose job. Now she's a pretty woman, but she wasn't pretty till she got the nose job. That daughter. He said awful things about her to Howard Stern. Who thinks of that daughter in an actual way? No man should look at that daughter in an actual way. You're disgusting. You are a slime ball, Donald Trump. You're grimy. You're the gum up under the trash can that has gotten dark and just needs to be put in hell. That's where you need to go. Go to hell, Trump.
People keep saying the hands-off protests were so peaceful. Like that's some kind of surprise. But if you're white like me, you need to think about what actually made that possible. White people, you really need to sit with this. The protests were peaceful because we were the ones in the streets. Black, brown, and indigenous folks stayed home. Not because they don't care, but for two reasons. One, it's not safe for them to show up. Two, it's not their problem to fix. We've all seen what happens when marginalized people show up in big numbers. Suddenly, it's tear gas, rubber bullets, arrest, and just straight up violence. So yeah, the protests were peaceful, but it wasn't because the system listened better. It's because whiteness made it safe for us to show up. And while we're naming things, let's be real. White people put 45 in office, not black voters, not brown voters, not indigenous voters, us. We built this system. We keep it running. And too many white folks are still clinging to it out of comfort, denial, or fear of giving up power. So if you're white and feeling proud that the protests were peaceful, cool. But ask yourself, what are you doing with that safety your skin gives you? Are you showing up when it matters most, or just when it's comfortable? Because this fight, this is our fight. People keep saying the hands-off protests were so peaceful.
I appreciate her saying this. This is someone that really cares. She cares about black and brown people, and I believe her. I can hear the sincerity in her voice, and she's letting her people know there was peace because there wasn't any black and brown people. If they would have been out there with us, the white police would have harmed them. And that's a fact. So I got a little tea on Elon Musk and Kanye West. Nasty boys. Because you know, like Kanye West just came out yesterday, opening up to his nasty ways. He would sleep with women and men. He revealed that 14, he experimented with his own cousin. And some things came out about Kanye West and Elon Musk. The Muskrat and Kanye West. Did y'all have a thing, Elon? Did y'all do Elon Musk? What did you and Kanye West do? Because it is also being told in this story that I'm about to show y'all that Virgil, that you know, the designer that was building for Louis Vuitton and did his own thing, Off-White. He has a clothing line, Off-White. That Elon Musk also may have had a thing with Kanye. Is that true, Elon? Because Kanye did go stay with Virgil overseas. Left Kim while she pregnant to go get in some mud. He stuck his stick in the mud and he liked it. You know how Katy Perry says, I kissed a girl and I liked it? Well, Kanye West put his stick in the mud and he liked it. And then he'll go home to his wife and put his stick in her juices. And what happens? You get infections like that. I like it better if you just true to who you are. If you like a man, I salute you. Just stick to that and stay over there. If you like a woman, I salute you. Just stick to that and stay over there. Don't put your mud in the juices because it causes infections. We all know Kim nasty anyway. She did an X tape, so what do we expect? But let's get to the goods. Hold on.
China has just exposed Kim Kardashian as being Kanye's savior and literally.
Hold on, because I don't want to start there. I want to start at a certain mark. I can't remember. I thought I put what time to start, but I can't remember. So we're gonna go ahead and go with it.
Sucking that man dry, physically, metaphorically, and symbolically. On top of that, Azalea Banks just jumped into the chat and let us know that Virgil and Kanye were lovers. And on top of that, y'all, let's get into this, because one thing.
Oh, Mama got the mess for you, honey. I got you some mess today, honey.
She is never going to tell you a lie. So where did this all start? Kanye revealed he blanked his cousin's blank in the wildest tweet to date. He said, this song is called Cousins, about my cousin that's locked in jail in life for killing a pregnant lady a few years after I told him we wouldn't look at dirty magazines together anymore. Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault and that I showed him these dirty magazines when he was 6, and then we acted out what we saw. My dad had Playboy magazines, but the magazines I found on top of my mom's closet were different. My name is Ye, and I blinked my
Hit the like button, please.
I was 14. Tweet sent. First of all, listen, Kanye doesn't need to be in a crazy messenger, but he needs to be around people that actually
he needs to be in the net house,
care about him and respect him. Bianca has literally been nothing but a sponge and a siphon on Kanye. She feeds into his worst nature. Interestingly enough, and this is the real gag, okay? Tokyo Tony, she actually jumped in and she said, as much as y'all want to act like Bianca is his savior, baby, she ain't nothing but looking for a quick come up. And he should have never, ever broke up with Kim. I'll say one thing, right? This is what Tony said. Kim tried to help him. She cleared his debts. She loved you. Her mama got you the best doctors.
Fair use, educational purposes,
this broke your marriage,
and great for research.
System is gone.
I love Tisa Tails. So pretty.
His yes men, and we can put Bianca in that thing, right? Put him against Kim because they did not want him to get help. They cannot take advantage of him if Kim is there. These people break your support system and then break you. Now, when I first read that, I was like, girl, but I will say this, right? I'm from the outside looking in. Tokyo Tony actually knows that family. She sees stuff. She's in the Hollywood circle. So again, she would know better than me whether Kim is his savior or not, and whether he really was spinning off. I really honestly don't know, but she would know better than me. But I do want to say this, right? This is actually really, really sad to watch him spiral and just say anything to get their attention back of the people, because people are literally ignoring him. He's acting like he's in the worst type of torture as he.
We're not going to watch the whole video because of fair use, but I can believe it. Elon and Kanye was hanging out a lot. And it was also a photo floating around of Elon Musk at a hot bath. What they call them, those hot tubs that gay men go to. I don't go to them, so I know nothing about it. Hey, I salute you if you're gay. Do your thing, baby. Because I got plenty of gay male friends. So, but it's been said, and I can believe it. I don't put anything past a man of the likes of Elon Musk. Hey, him and Donnie, something ain't right. Something just ain't right. I can believe it. Yeah. Kanye came out the closet yesterday and just opened up to it. I knew something wasn't right about Kanye. But I can honestly believe Elon Musk like it all too. It's a lot of men that are just sick, twisted freaks. Either you're going to be with a woman and love on her, or you're going to be with that man and love him completely. Splitting the fence, spreading germs, and that y'all know them people ain't using no protection. Hollywood just nasty. Nasty boys. Don't mean a thing. Just nasty. This is sad right here. Because of Donald Trump. This is sad. Trump has ruined our lives. I want him to go. He took that 401k. I hear you, sister. Trust me, we know. Amen. Down and dirty. Yes, we do. Fight back. Get down and dirty. Donald Trump has to go. Impeach Trump. That's because of Donald Trump. We didn't have any of this when President Joe Biden was in office. The town hall meetings, you never saw or heard anything like this. Never. The likes of the creature in the Oval Office cause all of this. People are losing things daily. I myself is experiencing things, but I keep going. Because I'm going to tell you right now about YouTube. They have cut back on so much for us. Our views, they cutting them back on us. Everybody that's a YouTuber is complaining. You're not getting the views you was getting. It's happening to everybody. And the people that's making big money, because I don't make a lot of money on here, they cutting back on that. But I tell you one thing that somebody put here in this chat, I don't get no government help. I got my own shit. And to say you need to get a job, I'm not waiting on welfare and food stamps like you are, MAGA with the rotten teeth, living in the Caucasus Mountain, eating raw meat, dog meat, and all, because you're nasty. But y'all want to put it on the Haitians. No, it's you. It's MAGA. You eat anything, because that's where you come from, the Caucasus Mountains, where you were eating anything, your ancestors. And you don't bathe often. You stink. You put on clean clothes and you're funky. Your own people have said it about you. I showed the videos of them talking about you. You don't like to bathe. She had to learn how to bathe from a black person. Now, the people that was raised by black people, we taught y'all how to wash your body so you don't smell so bad like a dog. Shut your fucking mouth in my chat. I read your chat. I can't remember your name. I read your comment. You come for me, I smush you like the white roach from the mountains you are.
Hey news, I've been away all morning, but let me catch you up quickly. Pete Hegseth is under fire and could soon be out of a job. NPR is reporting that the White House has begun the process of looking for a new defense secretary amid mounting scandals, including reports of a second signal chat in which Hegseth discussed attack plans with his wife and brother. The White House is calling the reports fake news. Republican Congressman Don Bacon is now calling for Hegseth to be fired. He is the first Republican to do so. Donald Trump attacked Fed Chair Jerome Powell, calling him a loser this morning. Trump is trying to deflect blame from crashing the global economy by blaming Powell instead of taking personal responsibility. The stock market crashed once again today, the dollar continues to weaken, and the 10-year Treasury yield continues to spike. Meanwhile, Elon Musk is reportedly planning his exit from the White House. His status as a special government employee is expected to end at the end of May. Trump's Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem was robbed on Easter Sunday. Despite having Secret Service protection, the bag that was stolen from her reportedly contained $3,000 in cash, blank checks, her DHS badge, and makeup. Pope Francis has passed away at the age of 88. The Pope was known for his efforts to modernize the Catholic Church. He rode through St. Peter's Square just yesterday in the Pope Mobile and briefly met with J.D. Vance just hours before his death. These are all the updates we got for you right now. Remember to follow us for more.
And after meeting with who? J.D. Vance, what happened? He clunked out. Sad, but it's true. I have to go in there, polish my nails, put on my nice shoes, and go on a date. I love y'all. Y'all have a beautiful evening. Bye.